Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Run in the Paint podcast, the first ever emergency podcast. Boys, we have a trade to talk about, but how are you guys doing?
Hello, everybody.
Very tired.
Oh, jeez. You
Jackson,
know who's
back.
tired? Indiana Pacers general manager from being on the phone all week. I thought the deal was going to be finalized last night. Had to wait till today.
Yeah, it was actually perfect timing, really. In the last episode, we did the rumor mill, and we were talking about Siakam, Pascal Siakam, getting moved, and we talked about the Pacers. But anyways, if you're living under a rock, Pascal Siakam has been traded to the Indiana Pacers in a 3-team deal, kind of. The full details: the Pacers get Pascal Siakam and a 2024 second-round pick from the New Orleans Pelicans. The Toronto Raptors get Bruce Brown, Jordan Nwora, Kira Lewis Jr., a 2024 first-round pick from the Pacers, a 2024 first-round pick, which will probably be the Clippers. It's the worst of the Jazz, Clippers, Rockets, or Thunder's pick, so it'll probably be the Clippers. Or no, it'll probably be the Thunder.
It'll probably be
It'll probably be the
Well,
Thunder.
it'll be the Jazz.
no,
and
it'll
the
be
Rockets.
the Clippers.
Yeah, Clippers or Thunder if they get it. And then a 2026 first-round pick from Indiana. Pelicans didn't get anything from this deal. They threw Kira Lewis Jr. to Toronto so they could move below the luxury tax threshold. And
They
the
said we
Pacers
want you to have him.
and the Pacers to clear space or whatever, they waived James Johnson. That's the deal. That's the deal. Poor James Johnson is gone from the Pacers. But
so we're not going to talk about how Danilo Gallinari is making his debut tonight, too.
Oh yeah, I guess they are. But
Debut.
what do you guys want to start with on this deal?
So the Packers 3 picks and the three guys. Kyra
Lewis. Because of the
Lewis.
Bruce
Raptors. And then
Brown and Jordan Nwora.
And Nora.
Yeah.
Those are 2 good players. I know Bruce Brown is on a pretty fatty contract at that $20 million mark, and they just picked him up in the. It's debatable.
And they got Cap.
But to move I would say Indiana, I think, had a good deal. That's moving that contract and picking up a 2-time. He's all NBA, isn't he?
Yeah, former All NBA, former All Star. He was having a pretty good year this year. He's averaging.
He's the number. He's gonna be a good number 2.
Yeah.
Nobody knows if he's going to resign. He's they hopefully made this deal with the thought of him basically knowing if he's going to resign, but if he doesn't, this deal's terrible.
It's hard to tell. Like Woj said after he broke the news that Siakam he's happy about the deal and he's expected to be eager to sign an extension. But of course he'd say that. We're not going to have any idea until the summer comes.
It's not as. I feel like it's not as safe of a deal as Knicks trading for Anunoby because he Anunoby's got a person there that he knows.
Did he necessarily want out of Toronto, Pascal?
He wanted to stay in Toronto.
And then what would be his incentive to lie and say that he wouldn't resign?
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I mean, I know we were talking in like our group chat yesterday. Jackson, you were sharing your thoughts. Basically, you think Siakam's gonna leave, right? Is that what you were saying?
I think watch him resign with the Raptors.
I don't even think that's possible. I don't think that's allowed. Maybe it is. I think it
That'd
is.
be hilarious.
It is possible because we did it with Ricky Rubio. We traded him and then signed him the next summer, so it is possible. But for the Pacers, I like it. I like it because with the pieces that you move, starting with the first round picks. Jarris Walker, who was your first round pick this past year, hasn't even gotten a chance to play yet. So
not a whole lot.
These first round picks that you traded away, especially the 2 for this year, basically meaningless because those guys are not going to play. Bruce Brown, like you said, is on a big contract. They had the option to decline his $22 million for next year, but in that case, you would lose him for nothing.
Yeah.
You might as well. I think that it's good to try this out because when you look in the Eastern Conference, well, first of all, the Pacers are having a great year. A
Yeah, for
big
sure.
surprise, to a lot of fans. I know we were just saying that they would be a ton of fun to watch. Not totally sure about if they would make any, crazy noise in the regular
Right.
season. Um, but when you look in the Eastern Conference, they're the only team besides the Magic that are in that race and don't have at least two all-star caliber players. Now they have that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I do like the move, like you said as well, just because it does put them into that next sort of. I think it bumps them up a tier a little bit. It keeps that. It does. I don't know if it puts them above the Magic now for me, but it they're definitely on that same level, and I can see them more so competing in a first round series than I did before. I mean, I think they can be just as competitive as some of the other teams in the East now.
I on like um I think Franz is an all-star caliber player. Why are we discrediting Franz like that? That's
That is
crazy.
true. That is true. I wasn't okay. I forgot about Franz because he's injured. Okay, so you put the Magic in there. Then the Pacers were the only team with one All Star.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So it's big for them. And another thing too is like we know the Pacers they didn't have the cap space this offseason to sign Siakam outright or sign a player like that outright, which I didn't realize. I learned that after the fact. ESPN's Bobby Marks, who's like a huge salary cap expert, broke it down perfectly. Um, in order for them to be able to sign Siakam in the summer, they would have had to decline the Bruce Brown team option, which was probably going to happen. They'd have to renounce Buddy Hield and Obi Toppin and also waive TJ McConnell. And those are three
That's their
huge
depth.
rotation pieces to their success. So I think that if you were going to look to get him, you do it in a trade because I'd much rather have all of them together than just Siakam, of course.
Yeah. No, that's definitely a very good point.
I gotta say, if you're the Pacers, you're thanking the Suns right now too, because they matched 8 in a couple years ago.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You know,
Yeah, that is a crazy what if to think about because like,
He would honestly be kind of nice with Hallie in that pick and roll.
but
well,
they
big
had
thing.
Turner, but they had Turner still. Would they have kept Turner? Probably not.
Well, Turner could play stretch four.
Yeah, it definitely it would have been an interesting dynamic for sure. I totally forgot that
It
the
would have.
Pacers
I
offered
think
him.
it would have been kind of like what the Timberwolves have going on, except they're shot blockers at the four instead of the five.
Yeah, except worse. I mean, it'd be basically positionless in the front court. You just have the two
Yeah,
bigs out there.
it'd be one of the. It'd be the two best. One of the two best guards from that 2021 class with like the same situation basically. Just one has it a little worse.
I think it's
Yeah.
also nice that. Sorry,
No, no,
you
no.
guys
Go
are
ahead. Go
on
ahead.
a roll. You guys are on a roll. That Pascal is getting sort of thrown into the Pacers rotation without Tyrese necessarily because I mean it's good that they want to play together, but it's also nice that Pascal can sort of develop a little bit of learning how to play with the other guys while Tyrese is off the court and he's not dominating the ball every single possession. So when
Maybe that
he
lead Benjamin hardly needs.
yeah, when he gets back Tyrese, it's gonna be again just dependent on him and how
Yeah,
healthy he is.
yeah, for sure. Now, their defense, which has already been, pretty bad this year. Of course, I think they have the number one offensive rating in NBA history right now. But conversely, they have one of the worst defenses. Um, and
I
so
think
Yeah.
Rick Carlisle said something about their defense.
what did it? Oh, it was something like it was something about
Something.
like a girlfriend or something.
Yeah, it was really funny.
It was. I remember that. So talking about this year, I know Nick, you were saying that this could maybe jump the Pacers up a tier. Jackson, what do you think about them this year?
This year, I think it definitely brings them up a tier. I think it helps their defense with their starters because Bruce Brown wasn't starting; he was like their bench,
No,
like
he was
leader.
start. He started every game he played in.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, since they I mean they're bringing Buddy off the bench, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
I,
So
I think it helps
now,
their starting lineup for sure.
yeah,
Obvious upgrade. And I mean, if the picks don't amount to anything, I think it's a great trade for them. And
yeah,
obviously, it all depends on if Pascal signs at this point.
yeah. I mean, now you're looking at a starting five in Indiana of when healthy, Probably Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, Benedict Mathurin, Siakam, and Miles Turner. Maybe you want Hield off the bench for scoring, but regardless, that's an offensive juggernaut right there in
If
the
I was
Yeah.
them,
Eastern Conference.
I'd put Mathurin off the bench and start Hield. I think just having Hield running around shooting with Tyrese out there would be so nasty.
You
Yeah.
still got Nemhard, you still got McConnell, you still got Jarris Walker. Hopefully, can get into the fold a little bit, maybe. And they
Yeah.
still got who's the other big dude with the glasses? 44.
Jalen Smith.
Jalen Smith, Obi
Jalen
Toppin.
Smith.
Obi
Obi
Top-
Toppin,
I
right.
feel bad for Obi Toppin because his whole career he has to play behind Julius Randle, and he looks good in his minutes. This year he finally gets a chance to start. He's putting together honestly one of the most
He's having a
efficient
great year.
years in NBA history. He's shooting 72% on twos and 42% on threes. That's
Wow.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
But now he's going to get moved back to the bench. Let's
It's
talk
all right.
about
He'll start in his role.
He'll star in his role for sure. He'll definitely provide some energy. Let's move over to the Raptors side of things. Getting those draft picks, getting Bruce Brown. This part 2 of the like OG and Anunoby deal. You kind of look at those two deals together, and for OG and
Yeah.
Pascal.
I'm thinking about it like they remind me of like the John Wall and Beal Wizards. Like they're not bad enough to like tank, but like they're also not good enough to make playoffs.
That's a strong comp. I don't mind that comp.
Yeah,
But they don't have. They just don't have a John Wall.
Yeah, when you first said Wall
Quickly,
and Beal, I was like,
John
what's,
Wall. Eat that boy
I
fast.
was like, what is their Wall and Beal? But in the sense that they're like, they're kind of mid right now.
Right.
I mean, we'll see how it goes. I mean, their starting five is now Emmanuel Quickly, Bruce Brown, R.J. Barrett, Scotty Barnes, and Jakob Poeltl. You still got Dennis Schroeder and Gary Trent off the bench.
Bruce
They
Brown and
got
Jordan
their
Noah
fast
now.
point guard. They got their shooting guard who shoots the ball a lot.
R.J. Barrett, yeah. Let's not compare Emmanuel Quickly to John Wall. I think that's a little disrespectful.
No, he's just saying they're both fast.
They are both. They are
really fast.
definitely both fast.
Marcin Gortat is like Jakob Poeltl.
Yeah. Bless you, Nick.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Perfect comparison.
I don't know how I feel about it for the Raptors because I feel like while they did get a really good haul for those guys with Quickly and Barrett and now these picks and stuff, it's definitely a move that sort of takes them a step back and like it looks like they're looking towards the future there where as like I don't know, they were playing decent. They had a decent record in the East.
Yeah,
throughout the first half of the season.
Yeah, they're now running on a 4-game losing streak.
Like, if I'm them, I don't know why they traded Pascal. If he wanted to stay, why don't you just pay him? Because he could run the 4. Scotty can run the 3. Barrett at the 2, Quickly at the 1.
Because then I don't think there would have been any room for them to get better. You'd be locked up with so much money, especially you have to pay. You traded for Quickly. You're gonna have to pay him his extension. You'll have to pay Scotty eventually.
That's like your ceiling.
Way too many players.
You're as good as you're gonna be now with that roster.
Yeah, they had a perfect pick and roll point guard.
Unless you tank this year and then get a pick, and then people are saying it's not a strong draft, and you're banking on an 18-year-old who's gonna.
Who would they pick?
Let's see. Who are they?
Go for Alexander Sarr.
What are they? Do they have their own pick this year? I'm looking. They do not have their own pick this year. Where would their first round pick be this year? San Antonio?
For who? Oh, for Poeltl. I think it is for Poeltl.
Yeah. Okay, so it's good for them because now they got 2 first-round picks that'll probably be between 18 and 28, something like that.
That's not that crazy. Like those are, decent picks.
Yeah,
this class, like from what I've heard, this class is pretty good.
I've heard the opposite.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's
I don't know though. Really.
I heard it's guard heavy for sure, other than Alex Sarr and Ron Holland.
Yeah, like with first-round picks nowadays, just because there's so much talent out there, a first-round pick to me is a first-round pick, especially if it's down there, because you can find steals anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
We see them every single year. It just depends on what team is able to scout the best to get those players.
The Heat are just a given at this point.
Well, yeah.
That's why Eric Spoelstra gets all that money.
He does get paid.
He's a
He does
developmental
get paid for
wizard.
sure. Yeah, I'm excited to see how it works for both of these teams because, like, even with the Raptors, still, I mean, they traded Siakam and they've been on this losing skid, but Brooklyn has also been on a losing skid, so Toronto's not too far behind them. They're only a game and a half back of 10th place if they wanted to make the play-in again. I mean, who knows?
Right.
Brooklyn is such a weird team to me.
They really are. I mean, they're performing kind of like how I expected them to play.
I had them at the 6. I'm mad.
I think Brooklyn should make a move for DeJounte.
See, I think they need a dominant guard who can take it up the floor every. Like DeJounte is more of a shooting guard to me. Like he's not somebody I would trust to take the ball up every possession.
I think he is.
I think he could be a point now. I mean, he's playing with Trae Young.
Yeah.
So it's kind of different.
But like, they just don't have a scorer. Like Cam off the bench, he's falling off.
That's the thing with Cam Thomas. Like, if he doesn't score, he does nothing else. He does literally nothing else. Like,
it's literally Julius Randle.
I mean,
Julius Randle.
That's not fair to Julius.
No. No, did you see when he missed the clutch free throw? What was it?
Yeah, against the Magic. Against the Magic,
oh my God. And then did you see the defensive possession right after?
Yeah, you didn't do
that
anything.
made me so mad.
That's the thing with Randall.
He doesn't play defense.
You get that from Randall. You just
he
get
doesn't
that
play
from
defense.
Randall.
But then he shouldn't be able to take all these shots, especially in a Tom Thibodeau system.
Yeah, talk to Tom.
I will talk to Tom. Tell him to give Brunson 40 shots a game. He'll average 80 points for me.
Orlando Magic.
All right. Well, so before we get out of here, how about we each give the Raptors and Pacers a grade on this? We don't really need to talk about the Pelicans.
Can we start with the Raptors?
Yeah.
All right, Jackson, go.
Like a D.
Oh, he took my grade.
Really?
I don't like it that. Like the picks aren't going to be that crazy. I mean, they could, but like the Raptors. Actually, I guess the Raptors are pretty good at developing people. I mean, you got Pascal, for instance.
C minus.
My boy Fredward. My glorious Fredward.
C minus.
You know what?
I'll be a little nicer.
You know, I will go C minus as well. Only because, not because I think that this package is bad. I think 3 first-round picks is pretty decent.
Yeah.
But
disrespecting Bruce Brown.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's not even guaranteed that he'll be there after this year. It's even reported that they may reroute him to another team by the trade deadline.
So what team is he going to land on if they trade him?
Which would be interesting.
A competitive one.
I don't know.
The Nuggets.
Go back to the Lakers. Give Bruce Brown to the Lakers.
Go to the Lakers.
The Lakers remind me of.
But
that's not what they need.
The Raptors. I give them a C minus because they shouldn't have waited this long to trade him. Like, if you were going to trade him, they should have done it last year when he had more value. Because you would have gotten more players, I think, in return. Maybe some younger pieces. Because you really, in this deal, you didn't get any young players, really, in return, as Jackson's going crazy. Someone must have got dunked on.
Anthony Edwards just dunked on 2 people.
Oh, gosh. He's watching the Timberwolves-Pistons game.
And he's my favorite player. Oh, I love that man.
Okay, so now for the Pacers. What grade do you give the Pacers? Nick, go. You start.
I was gonna say B plus. I'll just say a firm B, around like an 84 to 86% range, because the package. I mean, you just signed Bruce to a pretty lofty contract, and now you're moving him right away. Oh, I actually actually like that part of it. I'm just going B though. They got a good all-star, all-NBA guy.
How do you think Kevin Durant got to the Warriors? Sign and trade.
B.
I'll give him an A if he resigns. I'll give him like a C if he doesn't.
Yeah.
Because I think it could make them competitive this year.
Yeah, because I don't know. Like, who knows? I mean, they have the Bucks number. If the Sixers jump up to 2 and they play, if the Pacers play the Bucks in the first round, who knows what happens? I don't
I
know.
mean,
Are we
shoot,
even sure the
7
Bucks are
game.
going to be a top 3 team? They look terrible.
I'm not sure
They're
of
still
that.
look. They're still winning games. I mean, they're still the second seed in their 4 games.
Dude, I watched that whole. I texted you guys during that Dame time game. Like, I was watching the end of it, the fourth quarter and stuff, and I'm like, how many different ways can the Bucks figure out how to blow this game? And then he hits that shot, and he erases everything that happened in the last 15 minutes of game time because it was terrible.
Yeah, the Bucks and they were each just. It was like who was going to give the game away more
I hate
in that
watching
game because
Yeah.
they missed because the Kings missed so many free throws in overtime.
How do the Kings have the reigning clutch player of the year on their team, and yet they always find a way to blow the game?
Nah, De'Aaron was playing great. I'm not taking away anything from the Kings because they're
God damn.
They did blow a 22-point lead in 8 minutes last night to the Suns, which was insane. That was
Yikes.
crazy.
Okay,
But
dude.
yeah, I mean, we'll see though with the Bucks because you're right. That Dame shot, like no one's really talking about the Bucks' struggles. I mean, I know we mentioned it last pod. How Jackson and I were saying that it's the Celtics and the Knicks; those are the only teams that can win a title right now in the East.
I might have been biased by me, but I don't care.
I mean, I agree with the Knicks part of it.
I love the Knicks.
But yeah, I'll give the Pacers a B as well, right in the middle there because actually I'll give them a B plus because this was their only way of really going after a star on the market. Because I mentioned before all the things they would have had to do.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I mean, just give it a try and see if Siakam likes it. I also like the idea of the Pacers being like, okay, Siakam, you're unsure of where you want to go, where you want to sign. Just come play with Tyrese for 3 months and see how it is.
Nah,
I would love to play with that dude.
They're moving him at the deadline.
They're moving Tyrese at the deadline.
No, they're moving Pascal at the deadline.
Sign and trade. Trade and trade.
Trade, baby. Sign and trade.
Oh man! All right, you guys have anything else for today?
First emergency pod in the books.
A lot of
You got a
fun.
couple more coming up.
Excited for some more trades over the next 3
Yeah,
weeks.
I think Kuz is gonna get traded next.
Yeah, I think so too. But tomorrow
I don't know
tomorrow we're gonna record our mid-season awards episode, so stay tuned for that. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Leave a comment telling us how we did on our grades. Give us your thoughts on the this I guess blockbuster trade. I mean, it's an all-star going to a good playoff team. So give us your thoughts on the trade. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe for more NBA content. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and we will catch you in the next one.
Peace.